Okay, this evening we destroyed successfully a book that was celebrating the Confederacy's loss because they're losers, the biggest losers in American history. And but the gosh darn mechanism I'd set up, the experiment I'd set up to make it go up in a glorious blaze of flame, failed. Therefore, we're going to try it again, this time destroying the remaining collection of these pins that were created, I'm sure, in the 50s or some bullshit time like that. They certainly have no historical value. They're merely propaganda bullshit, trying to convince the South. Try and convince them, even though they all know in their hearts that they are losers and they suck. They try to say otherwise by selling this kind of crap, which we are going to burn one way or another. Hopefully, in a glorious, spectacular fashion, but we'll see. So let's commence with the experiment. I'm using less of each product, and I'm optimistic that may be, I've been using too much of it maybe, that's why it's been failing of late. So, fingers crossed. That's right in there, and here we go. Boom, on the top. Where's the lid? Where's the cast on lid? Oh, there. Oh shit, oh, that already close enough. And boom. And fingers crossed. This time, hopefully, rock and rolls. And if not, we will burn those buttons or smash them or do something, because obviously they're going to get destroyed before the night's out. In theory, that combination of white powder and clear syrupy liquid will produce a relatively spectacular vertical column of flame. And like I said, it's done it once. Usually took about 2 minutes the time it did it before it finally sparked up. The other times it's either nothing or barely did something, a little smoke, and this black goo at the end was left over, but it was not impressive. Pathetic. I'll figure out eventually. In the meantime, thankfully, it will come as no surprise to any of our fans that I have other means by which to dispose of this propaganda. This is, however, close to the final piece from the initial set of crap that I purchased from a family in Elmira a few years ago. So, as I've said previously, I welcome donations of propaganda put forth by the losers in the Confederacy to try and convince them that they didn't suck. I love to destroy things like that on camera, obviously. And I may even try and tuck some historical relevance in once in a while, but probably not. Probably I'm just going to go with the old, they sucked, we won. They lost. All right, here we go. In this case, they won in the sense that they don't get the big burn I wanted to have them enjoy, but whatever. It's going to still go. And maybe the heat will help crank it up. I doubt it. Oh yeah, that's cool. Really hit those buttons, those pins hard. It seemed like when the material fell into the fire behind the first time we tried it tonight, it did seem like maybe something more energy was introduced into the fire abruptly, I would presume, because of those two chemicals. But it definitely did not do what it was supposed to do. And it made weird popping sounds earlier tonight, which I'd never heard before. I'm pretty sure the blue is just as a flashlight. Oh well. Again, even when these experiments fail and we don't get the glorious big pyrotechnics I'm aiming for, we still destroyed Confederate propaganda, so it's always a good night.